I'm so honored to be on this call. You know, I respect you so much. I always have, always will. What you've done for this planet, who you are, and what you do for your family is something to be commendable. And people look up to you all around the world. So I just want to say thank you for your encouragement to me.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Got me a Lamborghini. And
yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Apparently not. Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
Justin Bieber's rise to fame seemed like every young artist's dream. Hit songs, global tours, and an army of fans who adored him. But behind the bright lights and sold-out arenas, there were some people who were not so innocent. One name that keeps coming up is Diddy. The music mogul took a young Justin under his wing, promising mentorship and industry connections. But now, disturbing allegations are surfacing about Diddy's past, and it's making people take a second look at what really went down between him and Justin. Reports and resurfaced clips show that Justin was exposed to a world that no teenager should have been a part of. And when you connect the dots, the picture isn't pretty.
Justin was taken advantage of in a lot of ways, and it's quite sad, but I feel like, a lot of the things that he's going through right now are as a result of his, of what he went through back then in his adolescence with Diddy. If you look at, Justin Bieber's behavior over the past couple of weeks, he's been unfollowing people from his Instagram, one of them being Scooter, one of them being Usher, all these people that kind of brought him up and were supportive of him through his career. Haley's dad, Steven, he's just dropping all of these people off his Instagram. But the one thing that's interesting about this is that he's still following Diddy. By unfollowing him, I believe, and from what my sources said, it's going to, kind of throw him in this whole like, oh, so what are you avoiding? You know what I mean? And so he's trying to be as transparent as possible when all this goes to court and everything like that, because he knows he's going to be involved. The mountain of evidence of things that took place between Justin Bieber when he was underage and Diddy is endless recordings and videos of partying, and when he was smoking weed with him at age not 18.
Justin Bieber's journey to superstardom wasn't just fast, it was massive. One moment, he was a small-town Canadian kid posting covers on YouTube, and the next second, he was standing in front of Usher and signing one of the biggest record deals in music history. Discovered by talent manager Scooter Braun in 2007, Justin was barely 13 when his raw talent caught the attention of industry heavyweights. Usher and Justin Timberlake both saw his potential, but it was Usher who won the battle to mentor him. Under his guidance, Justin became the face of pop's next generation, with his debut single One Time quickly turning him into a household name. But while Usher played a key role in Bieber's music career, Diddy had his own influence. He showed an unusual interest in the teenage singer. And while at first it seemed like just another industry friendship, looking back now, some of the details don't sit right. Diddy had a pattern of surrounding himself with young talent, often taking them under his wing in ways that seemed more about control than mentorship. And in Justin Bieber's case, that mentorship came with some controversial moments, including a highly publicized 48-hour stay at Diddy's mansion when Justin was just 15.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
It started with a flashy promise. Diddy told a teenage Justin Bieber that if he stayed on the right path, he would reward him with a luxury car. A wild claim, but one that Diddy seemed to make good on. And then came the invitation. 48 hours with Diddy, a weekend that, in reality, feels very strange. Resurfaced interviews from that time show Diddy speaking about Justin in a way that now feels very strange. In one clip, Diddy casually tells the world that Justin was staying with him for 2 days, calling it a mentorship experience. But the way he describes it, promising the young star exposure to the high life, luxury, and success, feels more like grooming,
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you
All right,
doing?
young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and
Yeah,
everything?
man.
Starting to act different, huh?
No,
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right,
My
okay.
number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Justin, still just a kid, looked both excited and overwhelmed in these interviews. His body language suggests he wasn't comfortable. And when he was later asked about the experience, his reaction seemed forced, like he wasn't sure what he was supposed to say. What really happened during those 48 hours? Was it just a mentorship experience, or was there something more going on behind closed doors? Given the allegations that have since surfaced about Diddy's parties and the people in his circle, it's hard not to question whether Justin was exposed to things no teenager should be.
Welcome to the family, John.
As Justin Bieber's career soared, the pressure behind the scenes started to take its toll. At first, it seemed like he was living the dream. Hit records, sold-out tours, millions of fans. But fame came with a dark side, and soon, Justin wasn't the fresh-faced teen heartthrob everyone once knew. By the time he turned 18, the cracks in his perfect image became impossible to ignore. He was getting into trouble, lashing out at paparazzi, missing concerts, and making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Then came the major struggles: substance abuse, anxiety, and a growing sense of isolation. Justin himself has spoken about feeling lost in the industry, manipulated by people staying around him, and struggling to maintain control over his own life. In an emotional Instagram post, he admitted that by the time he was 19, he was heavily using substances and making every bad decision you could think of. He described feeling like he had no real guidance, saying, "You see, I didn't grow up in a stable home. My parents were 18 and separated with no money, still young and rebellious as well. As my talent progressed and I became ultra successful, it happened within a strand of 2 years. My whole world was flipped on its head. But here's the real question. Was this just the price of fame, or did something push him towards self-destruction?"
And what is happening, it's absolutely ridiculous. And what you're doing is powerful, and it needs to be said.
Looking back at Justin's early years in the industry, Diddy's influence is something that keeps coming up. The music mogul played a big role in Justin's early days. And with recent allegations surfacing about Diddy's alleged behavior, people are now wondering, was Justin just another victim? He wasn't the only young star Diddy took under his wing. Over the years, the hip-hop mogul has surrounded himself with rising talent, offering mentorship, but often with hidden intentions.
Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
They need your vibration. P. Diddy needs your applause, your adulation, because he has nothing himself. And I might remind you, he left his kids there to deal with his...
Recent lawsuits and shocking accusations against Diddy have pulled back the curtain on the dark side of his empire. Allegations of exploitation, manipulation, and have come from multiple sources, painting a disturbing picture of what went on behind the scenes. It's no secret that Diddy had a history of luring young artists with promises of success, only for many of them to later struggle with the industry's pressures. Mace, one of Diddy's former protégés, has spoken out about feeling controlled and trapped under his influence. Even Usher, who lived with Diddy as a teenager, once hinted in old interviews that he was exposed to things he probably shouldn't have seen.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In
to
the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say
and,
that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
It's not even taking a shot at Puff Daddy, because I'm believing his life to change. I'm believing everybody's life to change. I'm not against them, and sometimes my stance make people think I'm against them. I may be against what they're doing, but I'm not against the person.
That's it.
But I'm definitely not standing for what they're doing. I'm just not in hatred for the person, because God loves the sinner and he hates the sin.
Now, with more allegations coming to light, people are starting to question whether Justin was caught in Diddy's web. Was his downward trajectory just a result of young fame, or was there something far more going on in his life? Fans are also asking, why hasn't Justin Bieber spoken up? If there's any truth to the speculation surrounding their past interactions, wouldn't he want to clear this out, or at the very least, distance himself from people like Diddy? His silence on Diddy's current scandal is exactly why people are questioning what might be holding him back. One possible reason can be legal agreements. The entertainment industry is built on NDAs, non-disclosure agreements that can keep people from speaking out about what really goes on in their personal and professional life. Diddy, with his vast empire and powerful connections, wouldn't be the first industry figure accused of using NDAs to keep things quiet. If Justin signed one early in his career, it could be preventing him from ever discussing certain stories. Another possibility is fear of retaliation, both professionally and personally. Diddy isn't just a former mentor. He's a businessman with deep ties in the music industry. Speaking out against someone with that level of influence could have serious consequences, not just for Justin's career, but for his safety. Over the years, we have seen how whistleblowers in the entertainment world are often blacklisted, threatened, or silenced. If Justin has anything to say, he might feel it's just not worth the risk. Then there's the personal side of it all. If Justin went through something traumatic during his time under Diddy's mentorship, he might not be willing to relive it. Even in interviews where he's spoken about feeling lost and manipulated, he never names anyone. Some survivors of industry exploitation stay silent for years, only opening up when they feel safe enough to do so. The question is, will Justin ever reach that point?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here.
With more allegations against Diddy coming to light and more people speaking out, the pressure is rising. If his friends with similar experiences start sharing their truth, it could encourage Justin to finally break his silence. Or he might continue staying quiet, hoping to leave his past behind. Anyway, Justin Bieber's story isn't unique. Time and time again, we have seen young stars rise to fame, only to struggle under the weight of the industry's dark side. For every success story, there's another tale of mistreatment, manipulation, and hidden trauma. And the worst part? Most of these stories never come to light. At what point do we start questioning the price of success? How many more stories like Justin's are waiting to be told? The entertainment industry has a long history of protecting powerful figures while silencing those who dare to speak up. But as we've seen with recent scandals, the truth eventually comes out. The conversation doesn't stop here. As more details emerge, fans are questioning everything that's been out there. A person commented, "It's clear he's damaged by the stuff he's been through from being a literal child. We should have some empathy for someone clearly struggling." Another one wrote, "He still follows Diddy due to a signed NDA. The moment the trial is there and the NDA will be invalid due to criminal charges on Diddy, he will unfollow. If not, that's gonna be it for me though. A third person added, I think Justin is struggling with his mental health, like a breakdown or something of the sort. Let's hope he figures it out and heals. Well, that's all for today. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments below. If you want to stay updated on this story and others like it, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.